Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 11th. I want to thank you all for tuning in and seeing what the guides have to say today. I just got back from a little over a week in Fairhope, Alabama, and it was just magical, wonderful, really incredible to see friends and then just meet with people in person. I always appreciate that. So, busy week, and I've enjoyed being home and getting settled back here. And I don't know if you guys were out last night. You can't miss all the talk of the Northern Lights. Even here where I am in Georgia, you could barely see it with the naked eye. Yet, I got my phone camera out and it captured the pictures, just the color of the sky, just so beautifully. So maybe it'll be out tonight too. Who knows? Anyway, so I want to welcome you to the wonderful world of the Akashic Records and our Friday morning sessions. And I will read the Akashic Prayer. I will take a moment to connect. We'll see what message maybe the guides have in general for us. And got a couple of questions that we'll answer and be on with our day and our weekend. Okay. I'm going to read the prayer. So if you feel comfortable, just close your eyes and let yourself relax. Be open to receive and notice if you're thinking about something. You might be encouraged to type it in and ask, or maybe save it for another session, or it might just get answered without you even asking. So, okay. I ask God if He will have His shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. Okay, here. Wow. So, of course, we've had a lot going on in the United States with the hurricanes. There's just stuff going on all over the world. And one thing the guides want to say is they really appreciate how so many of you have come together in just the form of prayer and also those of you that are assisting just on the ground, whether that's through donations, volunteering, or just being there, source of support. And they said, this is, and they say this often, but it really is raising the vibration of the planet when we continue to come together and work together. And that really is the trajectory that we're on. So, more and more things will continue to come our way to keep us coming together. A couple of weeks ago, we met, and they did bring that warning through. And that was, so interesting because Hurricane Helen was on its way to North Carolina when we were having that session that Friday morning. It had just passed through Georgia. And I had no idea what was going on up there. And it's just so tragic. And yet, in all of that, it's just so remarkable to see everyone coming together and really responding in such a positive way. So today they're not really giving a warning. They're just saying there is more to come. And it may not be on that scale. And yet really the way to look at those things, like even with Milton just coming through, the amount of people that gathered to pray is just really wonderful. So just remember there is power in numbers, there's power in prayer. And that's something each and every one of you can start, if you feel called to find a way to put it out there, and use social media for good, in that way. So, so many of us either turn away from social media, or we air grievances there, uh, or whatever we do with it. But they said you can actually use it for good. Be an uplifter, and just remember to be kind. And they can't emphasize that enough. So, but they do have a lot of gratitude that they're flowing your way for all the support and positive energy that you're bringing into your daily life and into these situations. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Mhm. Let me see. Well, they also said to remember there there are cycles to things, and when there is destruction, when there is an ending of something, it always is accompanied with a beginning of something. And so, if we could look at what might be to come, look at what opportunities present, instead of looking at what we lost, we can accelerate the change that is to come, if that makes sense. We can move quicker into those opportunities and possibilities. So they said to trust in the process. Now, I can say that, they can say that, some of you can hear that, and we're not sitting there actually going through that great loss. So this is in no way diminishing what someone is experiencing right now in that. And we can have great compassion for someone um, having that experience right now that has lost everything or a lot. Knowing that somewhere, somehow, they will be supported into a new journey, a new life, a new phase, and they will always remember this time of a major transition in their lives. So, again, we can just pray for their support and assistance and offer where we can, and trust in this process, even if it is from afar. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, I am going to hop to a couple of questions here. Okay. Okay, I am in the second half of life and I enjoy my work, but it's physical, and I realize there needs to be a pivot as I move forward. I have an idea for a creative project that would not be physical. My question: what advice do the guides have for me regarding this, or should I go in another direction? If so, what might that be? At this stage, I just want to put my energy where it will yield the best results for stability. Okay, here. I totally get that. So, one thing the guides would say, this is really an interesting start to the answer to your question, is that when we are feeling that kind of calling and that need to kind of switch, or we're recognizing our physical limitations, it's really important that you heed that. And so glad you're asking that question, because the guide said, um, you're walking in awareness, and that's a wonderful place to be. If you're not walking in awareness and you don't catch all these signs, and you just still keep doing the same old, because that's what you feel like you have to do or need to do, that's when the universe steps in and starts creating those little roadblocks, stumbling blocks, trying to get your attention. So it's great that you're out a little ahead of that. You're already recognizing that change needs to come. So, the creative project that I'm hearing for you is a good idea, something to pursue and to move towards. What they're showing me with that is like it's an open door, like that door is opening for you. And from that, they said the path will be clear, and then you'll come to a place where you will have choices of other directions to go. So it really looks like it's the beginning of a new phase for you that will yield several opportunities, if that makes sense. And it looks like the most important thing I'm hearing to tell you is to take that leap of faith and move in that direction. And what they're showing also is that you've been wearing a robe, almost like a cloak that feels heavy and it's starting to feel heavy. And they're showing you throwing that off and being on this path and a real light shining from you. And from there, you'll feel lighter and freer and clearer. It may not always be certain, yet that's really where the growth is going to happen for you. But they just show this really beautiful, like golden light emanating from you when you step on this path. So I would take that as a real positive, a real nudge to move forward. Let me see here. Best results for stability. I'll see if they have anything else on that too. Well, part of it is the stability will give you the incentive to stick with this project, if that makes sense, so that your vision can be yielded. And so sometimes the need for stability is the incentive, if that makes sense, to really stay invested in that project. But I'm hearing, remember, we all kind of have a set point with stuff like that. And for you, um, I am hearing that you'll be supported in this journey, that you will have stability, and you'll have an opportunity to actually thrive as well, if that makes sense, to have a little bit more than stability. Um, might be a little up and down, but I don't see any real jagged edges, just might be a little up and down. That's just the nature of giving birth to something. It takes a lot of required assistance and support in the beginning to get it out there. But I'm hearing that there's real light there for you in so many different ways. So yes, I say go ahead. And thanks for asking your question. Okay, here's a question. Okay. A former colleague of mine who played a pivotal role in the shifting of both my career path and relationships transitioned on September 24th. We were we connected in a past life, and if so, what type of relationship was it? Okay. All right, let's see here. It's so funny. Now, I've not looked at a past life for someone in this capacity without a name or anything to kind of hone in on. So we will see. I'll tell you. Last week I did readings for some lovely ladies that have been friends forever, and um, we ended the day by getting them together to do a group reading. And so I could see if there was a past life they all shared. And I'd never looked for four people specifically in a past life. So that was really fun. It's amazing what we can see when we explore that. And it explains so much. So, okay, let me see if that's your question here. I'm just reading it one more time. Okay. So, big answer for everyone. When someone in your life has played a significant role for you, you can rest assured you have had a past life relationship with them. Hang on here. So, it is not always It is not always rule of thumb, yet a lot of times if someone plays a role like that for you as far as like career and relationships and brings wisdom and guidance in, it feels like the role almost of a mentor. um, Often there will be somebody in your life and in your lifetimes that plays that role for you, that's just a little bit um, longer in experience, that will help you continue to evolve. And I am hearing that's what it is with this relationship with this person. They're showing me one past life in particular. You've had several past lives. This person plays that role for you. It looks like mm, often, I would say, is in that role of, I guess, mentor is the best word, but guide almost in the physical, if that makes sense. Like sometimes people come into our lives and they are there to be wise, offer their guidance, and that's just the role they play for us. And the role we play for them is to allow them to share their wisdom. So, what they're showing, the one past life in particular, it kind of feels like a teacher student, but this one, they are going back to a monk life, like in a monastery. Let's see if there's a particular country or anything around that. They're taking me to France for some reason, and I'm not sure what era. Looks like this is a person who was in the monastery longer, and when you joined, that they, hang on here, they introduced you into what they're telling me is reflection, and how it's like they taught you how to begin to reflect. And really, we would look at that today as being mindful, like being really in the present moment and being mindful of what's going on, and not letting our head spin out about things in the future or hold on to things from the past. And they said that this person really taught you how to reflect on what was right in front of you, what you were feeling, what you are experiencing, and reflect how that fits into the grand scheme of things. So I'm not sure if that's helpful or not, or explains something more to you, but they're saying it's a very loving relationship. It, uh, it, hmm, this person does not look like it's been in your immediate family um, roles. And when I say immediate family, I'm talking that's like your born in family or your married family. Um, does not look like has had that kind of relationship, if that makes sense. But certainly, I would say in that significant soul group after the immediate one. I'm also hearing to tell you that this person is still wanting to share wisdom and guidance with you, even from their place in spirit. And so be open in your meditation to connecting with that divine being in energy and just feeling the love and wisdom coming forward. And I'm also hearing it's time for you to take on that role. Um, which you already do, just maybe with, I don't know if it's someone in particular. So I'm not sure how, if it's one in particular or even more, but this person is supporting you from spirit in playing that role for others. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Okay, so let me see here. If we got any messages, let me see here. And I'm just reading my questions for those of you joining, wondering if the guides have a message for me. Barbara? Okay, let's see, Barbara. So, Barbara, one thing that I'm hearing is they're saying things might feel a little heavy right now, like you're kind of walking through mud a little bit, and I'm not sure what that's about for you, but the guides are saying when you feel like that, it's almost like take your shoes off and leave them in the mud and go walk barefoot. And I know that sounds um, just kind of a light and simple, but they're saying to remember who you are and to remember you are a divine child of the universe. And what you're experiencing right now is temporary. And they want you to put your feet in the grass really and see yourself as a really strong tree that's connected to the earth and the sky. But they keep saying, just remember who you are, remember who you are. And you are not what you've done. You are not what you've dreamed and imagined. You really are a divine child of the universe. And they said they want you to trust in that connection to the divine and see what that opens up for you. Gosh, I guess we could all do that, couldn't we? Okay, me. Any messages for me? Let's see here. Okay, me. Let's see here. You know, they're saying to, it's just so funny. You never know what the guys are going to suggest. Sometimes it could be something really profound, and sometimes it's a message like this. So I'm so glad you asked what they would have you know, because they're saying they would take it easy. Take it easy today. Take it easy through this weekend. And they're literally showing you just like lay back in the recliner, put your feet up, watch whatever show you want, and let go of any to do list or things you think you have to do. And they said just take this weekend and relax into the changing of the seasons, relax into where you are in your life, and just like for you too, things are temporary. The things are always in motion and changing. So they're saying to just take a break this weekend. Um, they're also saying, oh my gosh, I can't quite tell. It's like I feel like I'm looking at banana bread, like making or pumpkin bread or banana bread or something. I don't know if you've thought about making one, but that feels fun. Or maybe it's just going out to a local bakery and getting one. So yeah, you have the permission, they said, to take the weekend off from all of your roles and responsibilities. You might have to walk the dog, but that's about it. So I think that's great, you guys, because we can give ourselves those weekends or those days or those hours. Um, so just, yeah, give yourself permission to take a break. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let me see if there's anything else for us today. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, send them now, because otherwise, you guys, we're going to wrap up today. I know we're just getting back in the swing of Friday mornings. Pretty soon it's going to be dark, and we may move to after dark again, because that's always fun to sit in here with candlelight. Okay, let me see if there's any final messages that the guides would give you. No, they like the questions today, and they love the gathering that came forward, and they would just emphasize remember who you are and give yourself a break and give yourself permission to take that break. So let's see here. You know what? I'm going to grab my little angel cards, and I'm going to just draw us a couple cards for the weekend. I'm not looking. Let's see here. Now, if we get obedience, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, perfect. Look what we got. Play and enthusiasm. I mean, you can't beat that. That is just perfect for the messages today. All right, you guys, thanks for joining. I will see you next Friday, and I will send a reminder out, hopefully get a newsletter out soon, just so you can get your questions in And maybe I'll share a story or two from the readings. Really fascinating stuff coming through. So, all right. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. See if the Northern Lights are still out and about tonight in your area. And stay positive. Be that uplifter. Remember who you are and take a break. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Bye.